Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again for another Kickstarter critique, my daily show in which I take a look at the most brand spanking new Kickstarter board game on the planet and give you my brutal, honest thoughts on it. So here we are, we're on Kickstarter. I'm not going to do until the bidder ends. That one's looking for like $200. I want to go to something that's at least looking for a little bit more money. So is this a game, the Doodle Dice and Easy to Use Dice Kit? Nope. We're going to go here, Hypercube, a two-player strategy board game of capturing and controlling points on the board. So let's check this one out. And I do want to look right now on Board Game Geek to see if it's on Board Game Geek. Because if you're not on Board Game Geek, that immediately lowers my opinion of said game. Because that tells me that you probably are relatively new to the hobby. And I'm not trying to say that in a negative way. Just say, if you're relatively new to the hobby, you might not know to dot the I's and cross the T's that other people would know. So they're looking for $3,000. They have 4 backers, 29 days to go. He is brand new. Oh, he's a 17-year-old. That's okay. So that's cool. That's cool. So let's check this out. First things first. You know what? I'm going to send this to you, Owen. Get this game up on Board Game Geek. You want to do that before you start your Kickstarter. So that way you can garner interest in the game before you even launch. So let's check it out. Hopefully the sound won't be too bad. Okay. Is this okay? There we go. Rules. It's going very slow. Very slow. We should speed this up. Really speed this up right now. We're at 17 seconds. Come on. Come on. The goal. Okay. This is ridiculously long. You gotta speed
In
this up.
Hypercube, your goal is to capture 2/3 or 12 of the green spaces on the board. You do this by moving your pieces onto these spaces and by attacking your enemy to take green spaces from them.
Yeah.
First, put both sets of cubes beside the board.
Too long. Too long. No, speed this up.
Then, place one cube for both colors on these 2 spaces. Next, shuffle the deck of cards and deal 3 to both players. Lastly, set the deck of cards next to the board.
I like how all that looked. That looked cool. That was really good, aside from the speed.
Your turn consists of 3 parts. The first part is the attack phase. To attack another player's cubes, you play cards. The number of red squares in each corner of the card is the number of hits that card deals out, and the arrows are the directions you can choose to attack in. For example, this card can hit any one of the cubes that are diagonally adjacent to it. This card can hit 2 cubes on opposite sides at the same time.
Okay. Wow. This is really stinking good. And even if this game does it fun, Owen, my dude, you should consider doing some board game videos. You could charge people a good deal for these. This is a spectacular video right here, aside from the speed and the, at least my personal opinion, the laissez-faire attitude. Maybe getting a little bit more enthusiasm into it, but wow, hats off on this video right now.
This card hits all cubes around it, including itself. The next phase is the movement phase. On your turn, you get 3 moves that you can divide among your pieces any way you want. A move is where you move 1 cube 1 space in any direction, but never diagonally. And a piece can never be moved off of a green space unless it is attacked. The last phase is the cube placement phase. If you moved a cube onto a green space in the previous phase, you get to place 2 new cubes in any of the 8 spaces surrounding that cube. Also, if all of your cubes are on green spaces, you get to place 1 cube on any of the 8 spaces surrounding any one of your cubes. Once a player has captured 12 green spaces, the game immediately ends and that player is the winner. Thanks for watching, and most importantly, have fun.
That was a spectacular attempt right there. I think it could be a spectacular video with some things speeded up, but wow, that was really well done, and I know how to play the game well, so let's take a look at it. Story. Hypercube is a 2-player strategy board game where your goal is to capture 2/3 of the green spaces on the board. The rules are simple to learn, and it's fun for people of all ages. The game only takes around 20 to 30 minutes at most and fits in a compact box perfect for travel. Hopefully they show the size of that box somewhere. I think you definitely need to do that. I mean, I believe the main image is the box itself, but I want to see it, what it's comparable to. The size of the box, I think, is very important. I've been working on Hypercube since last May. It started out as just a general idea of what I wanted the goal of the game to be. Pretty soon I was already making a mock-up version of it out of poster board and pieces from other random games we had lying around. Once we agreed on the rules and that the game was indeed quote-unquote fun, I got to work on the artwork. This is always one of the most fun parts to do, in my opinion, because the artwork is one of the most important factors in making a game enjoyable. Now, over 2 months since I came up with the idea, I had my first prototype. It turned out great, and after playing it with all my friends, we agreed that the game was ready for a final prototype. First, I fixed all the little issues with the first version, which took me, should be ME, only a day. But then I had to make the video, which is really not my strong suit. Well, you crushed it, I would say, if that's not your strong suit. So if you focus on that weak suit of yours, that could be a heck of a strong suit. This took me ages, but eventually I got it done. And like I said, hats off to you. I have seen big boy companies, million-dollar companies in our business who are putting out gameplay videos that aren't as good as this one. I mean, to be quite frank here, I loved, the stop motion nature of it. I thought that was really cool. Now, 5 months since I came up with the idea, I had a final prototype that turned out perfectly. Okay, you're leaning a little hard on just how great everything is, but I guess I'd rather have you lean that way than the other way. Since after I launched my Kickstarter, and now soon after I launched. Now, 5 months since I came up with the idea, I had a final prototype that turned out perfectly. Soon after, I launched my Kickstarter, and now I'm here. That makes okay. I recently answered a bunch of questions about the rules in the comments page, so be sure to check those out if you have any questions. Good. Mention that. That's important. Maybe bold that. To start the challenges, I have to state the fact that creating a board game all myself is really hard, but after several years of making mistakes and learning from them, I need to know that everything is set up for success. I've made several test copies of the game that it can be 100% sure everything will be printed exactly as planned. Will most likely be distribution, as this is fairly new to me, but I'm confident I can figure it out quite easily, especially with a half a month. So here is some personal advice and some Kickstarter advice. Reach out for the Funding the Dream podcast and the Jamie Stegmeyer of Stonemaier Games. They have tons and tons and tons of free information on how to best run your Kickstarter, in particular shipping. Also, one thing I would mention that can give people a nice, warm, fuzzy blanket here, Owen, is start talking about the manufacturing. Who are you going through? Who are you talking to? What are the sizes of the boxes? These are the kind of little details that show us that you are ready for the prime time. You're ready to be the boy wonder of board game creation. And I'm not saying that in any sort of derogatory term. I think that'd be pretty awesome to be that. So let's check out these comments right here. Wait, what? Jeffrey Quayle, you did a reasonably good job explaining the game in the video, but I do recommend repeating the information in the text and also clarifying some details. Oh, good, Jeffrey, good stuff. How many cards are in the deck and how many of each type of attack are there? Yeah, get in the weeds. Why not just have a full component list? Because in theory, you should have that by now. Would a custom 6-sided die serve the same purpose? For example, one side hit all 9, 2 sides diagonal, okay. Do the used cards get discarded? Oh, wow. So he's really getting in deep on the weeds. So here's what you need to do, Owen. Give people the rule booklet. Say, hey, first update. Great first day, great first questions. We hit X percentage of our goal. We had Bowers Game Corner featured us on a video out of nowhere. But yes, post the PDF of that rule booklet. That will make people feel a lot better, and that will get people invested in your game. I would be willing to argue that probably Jeffrey, if he's already backed you and he's interested in the game and he's interested in seeing you succeed, would probably look at the rule booklet and say, hey, this doesn't make sense, or hey, there's a typo here, or hey, this, hey, that. That is one thing I will tell you about designing a board game. Lean on anyone who wants to help you, because having as many eyes as possible on something, especially from the board gaming hobby, like coming from our world where we've seen tons of Kickstarters, is a good thing. So let's see, do attack cubes. So these are all gameplay questions. So thanks for the questions and feedback. So he answered them. Good, answered them quickly, promptly, excellent, on the ball. One thing I would say, Owen, if you're not doing it, just a recommendation. Apparently this is critiquing, right? I'm critiquing things and giving out advice. Maybe I should do this. But here's a piece of advice I would recommend is make sure that you're messaging everyone after they back and giving them a thank you. But other than that, I do think that this will succeed. I think it's a nice story. I think it's good. And I think it looks like a solid abstract strategy game, and I think if you can showcase the size, oh, what's the price? That's the big thing. A sticker for $5, $30. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. Estimated delivery December. What? What? Okay. I'm seeing some red flags. Who are you going through manufacturing? I really want to know that now. So you get the sticker plus the thing, collector's edition. Pledge 56 or more. I wonder, is this going through the Game Crafter? Okay. Starting to see some red flags, because as much as I want to see Owen succeed here, I do need to be looking at this from the critical point of view, because that's the whole point of the segment. And I'm a little bit concerned about that December 2020 ship date. That makes me wonder if it's going through the Game Crafter, which I'm not saying it's not okay to go through the Game Crafter. I'm saying that if you are going through the Game Crafter, it is definitely expected that you mention that, because that will be a definite turnoff for some people. Just flat out, they'll say, oh, Game Crafter, probably going to steer clear of that one, even though I will say the Game Crafter is totally up their game. Go check out Iron Helm if you want some more information on that. But overall, what do I think is going to happen with this? I think it's a really good story. I think it's a feel-good story. 17, trying to get into board game design, that's super cool. I know what I was doing at 17, and it was not nearly as productive or good for me as this is. You're already $262 of the 3,000, and I'm definitely going to shout this out because I think it's a really cool story. So I think Hypercube will succeed, and I think it will actually turn into a feel-good story. I am calling it right now, baby. We are breaking this wide open. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Hypercube will do well. I think it will actually succeed. I think it will succeed to the tune of No, it's too much. $4,000. I think it will do $4,000. I think it will be a success. And hopefully, I think Owen will be on the ball on this, and I think he will take some good ideas and hopefully throw them in there, because I'm going to send him this video if I can. But there you go. That is today's Kickstarter critique, which actually took a really personal sort of touch here. Is this the way this segment should go? Should this be something that I just do and then I send to them and say, here's my brutal, honest opinion on it? You can completely shove me off and say, shut your mouth, we don't care. Or maybe they take something and they use it and it helps them succeed. I don't know. Am I doing good right now? Craziness. That's why I started this as a Bauer Gets Weird. But there you go. That is that. Also, be sure to click on the subscribe button if you enjoy what I'm doing. Consider supporting the Patreon down below. And hey, you know what? If you would be interested in having this segment done on your Kickstarter, let me know, because hey, you know what? Maybe I can put this on my Fiverr. Just charge $5 a day to do these videos if anybody wants it done. Because I'm not going to, just because I'm getting paid $5 doesn't mean I'm not going to still tear it apart if it sucks. Ooh, but that might hurt my review ratings. But hey, whatever. Oh, man. Interesting. Okay, so there you go. Hypercube. Check it out if you're in the market for a 2-player game. The Kickstarter link is down below. And as always, thanks for